And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this. People are not going to be happy with my opinion on this and aren't going to be very unhappy with what I'm going to be saying about this topic. But whatever. I don't really give a shit about that. I'm going to talk about it anyway. And I don't know how many people agree with me and how many people disagree with me. I don't know what the exact ratio is, but I know it's pretty divided. Like, it's not just like everybody agrees this way or everybody agrees that way. It's not like something that the gaming community as a whole actually agrees on. Like, we mostly agree that fucking microtransactions and $60 games is bullshit. So we all agree on certain things. We agree about certain games being as good as they are acclaimed to be. We agree that certain games are bad. So we do have some universal opinions that most of the gaming community can agree on, but this is like one of those opinions that's kind of like polarizing, I think. So I expect there to be plenty of criticism against me on this. I see a lot of YouTubers complaining whenever a company like Bethesda, that's just the first one I can think of, but there are plenty of others that have done this, put an embargo on early review copies. Now, most of the media, obviously the media, that's how they make their money, getting early review copies. They find this completely unacceptable and something that is morally wrong somehow. When a company decides we are not going to give out early review copies to YouTubers and to the media. People say that this is awful, it's censorship, or it's they're trying to hide how good or bad their game is by having early review copies, by banning them. And here's the simple answer that I have to that. I don't think that way at all. I think that publishers, the developers, whoever is the one that puts out the game and makes those decisions on whether or not to have a beta or to have early review copies, that makes those kind of decisions. They have every right to do so, and to say that it's so wrong that they're going to do that. Who benefits from early review copies, really? People might say, well, the consumer benefits because they get to know how good the game is before it comes out. The only thing I have to say about that is it's really not necessary to be able to have reviews of the game before it comes out. Like I said, the only groups that benefit from those are the big YouTubers because they get early access to the game before anybody else does. So they get that money because people want to see gameplay and they want to see, those YouTubers that do playthroughs of games. It annoys me so much. You have no idea. Those Telltale games or those other games that are like strictly narrative based, they had a day before it comes out to the public, they play through the whole thing, and you could see how the entire game is. It's just so dumb. Why do they decide to do that? It doesn't make them more money that way by having these early review copies, because then everyone knows how the fucking story plays out before the game even comes out. So it's just dumb. It's just really dumb, and it's really not with just Telltale games. It's with every game really that has the early review copies, and Bethesda has every right to not have early review copies to the media, to IGN and those companies, and to also the big YouTubers, because they don't need an early review copy, okay? If you are waiting to find out how the game is before you buy it, then wait until the game actually fucking comes out. I'm sorry, but it's ridiculous that we have to, that the media and these big YouTubers are trying to they're trying to screw us over by having, but you guys are really screwing over the little guy. If you think about it, how is somebody ever going to compete with you unless they have a good relationship with these companies? For example, if you're someone that completely takes a shit on everything that is wrong with certain games, like let's say if you're a Call of Duty YouTuber or a Battlefield YouTuber or whatever YouTuber you may be, they're not going to give you an early review copy. That's the thing. This early review copy system isn't a fair and impartial system. It's meant to reward the people who are loyal to you. That's what the companies do. To the companies that's why IGN gave Infinite Warfare a 9 out of 10, because next time around, when the next Call of Duty comes out, they want an early review copy. So don't go out and say, "Oh, it's so wrong that certain companies are putting out review embargoes." No, they're actually the ones that are more morally acceptable than the ones who do give out early review copies, because the ones who do give out early review copies only give it to certain people. That's what early copies are for. You give access to certain people, certain entities, before the public has access to it, and that goes with Battlefield. That goes with the Telltale games, like I said. I mean, there's so many games and so many companies that do this. I mean, most of them actually do give out early review copies and give out early copies to YouTubers to be able to play through the game. What if you want to start up a Let's Play channel, or want to start a playthrough channel, whatever you may call it, or a game review channel? You review a game when it comes out because you're just a regular Joe that's trying to get your name out there. You're just really trying to start YouTube or whatever, right? So you start YouTube and you're not famous. You really have nothing to your name at this point, but you're just trying to get started somehow. Yet these big YouTubers already have a significant, besides their big viewer base, most of the people who want to see, who want to find out how good the game is, already watched the reviewers who got an early copy. And so you're going to suffer as a result of that, because everyone else gets the early review copies, so people have already seen what they want to see. They're not going to see your review. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's it's a very unfair system, and I hope the system dies, because there's no reason why these YouTubers should have early copies. The only reason why they complain about not getting early copies is because they lose out on a lot of money, a lot of views. That's all they care about. It's not because we care about our fans, my subscribers. I want to tell them a day before the game comes out, or 2 days before the game, or a week before it comes out, how good or bad the game is. That's just complete BS. Because I guarantee you, if you're a YouTuber that hates, or not that hates, but like openly criticizes the game all the time, and you don't kiss ass to the publisher of the game, you're not going to get an early review copy, and you're not going to go out to the conventions and to the E3s and all this other crap. So don't go out and say that, oh, this is so unfair that Bethesda, because Bethesda is not playing favorites. Because that's what this system is about. It's about playing favorites. This whole system of early review copies. Give me a break. Don't try to tell me that this is unfair, or that it's wrong that Bethesda and other companies, Bethesda's gotten a lot of negative press over the past year, with their E3 conference turning out to be nothing important, and them re-releasing all the games instead of coming out with new ones, and the Creation Club, and all this other controversy that Bethesda's been involved in. I think also Bethesda tried to take down a mod or something. I believe that also happened in the past year. I don't know. But basically Bethesda's been a lot of controversy, and part of that, at least some part of that, has to do with them not giving early review copies for Skyrim Special Edition to YouTubers and the media. So, of course, the media went out and came out with articles about what Bethesda is doing is wrong, and why should I care about Bethesda not giving you guys early review copies? Why should I give a shit? Okay? I think everyone should play the game when it comes out. No one should have early access to the game. No one should have a head start to the game. I don't believe in that. I really don't believe in that. And some people can say, well, if they get an early review copy, they can they have time to play the game and review it. So by the time the game comes out, on launch day, you get an informed review, as opposed to if you don't get early review copies, people just rush to do reviews the day it comes out, and that's one thing. And I understand that point. That's actually the best argument anybody can make for early review copies, except the only problem with that is that that's just one use that people do for early review copies. Most people do early Let's Plays, so people Let's Play the game before it comes out. So all the people watching Let's Plays, people who are trying to start a Let's Play channel, are getting screwed over because people already watched the Let's Play a week before the game even come out, so they never had a chance. or if they're, an up-and-coming reviewer. That's the thing I'm trying to say, okay? If you're going to have early review copies, you should not play favorites. And that's really all the system is for. People who kiss your ass, people who kiss EA's ass, people who kiss Activision's ass, people who kiss Ubisoft's ass, name whatever company you can think of. If you are openly critical of these games and say, look, this game is crap, next year you're not getting early review copy. It's just quite simple. So don't tell me that, oh, it's so unfair. I'm just sick of hearing it. So, look, I know I'm probably going to get some criticism about this, but it has to be said because people are whining and complaining over nothing, over absolutely nothing. If you want to be able to play the game early, too bad. You should wait like everybody else. We don't need a class system in the gaming community. It's completely ridiculous. No thanks. I don't want that. I don't believe that these companies, these review companies like IGN and GameSpot, should get early review copies because they're just going to go out and give the game a great review, or at least a more favorable review than they would if they didn't get early review copies, because guarantee you, IGN completely trashes. If IGN completely trashed Infinite Warfare, they wouldn't have gotten an early copy of World War II. For sure. So I don't want to hear, oh, I'm just making stuff up. It's not true that they play favorites. Yeah, of course they do. That's what the system is built around. If it's not playing favorites, then why doesn't everyone just get early review copy? Why doesn't everyone just get early access? Or get a free copy of the game? Think about it. If a YouTuber gets a free copy of the new Battlefield game, they're going to morally feel obligated to not take a shit on the game. Or whatever game. It's not just about any game that you can think of. Any game. They're not going to completely shit on the game because they feel obligated to maybe not, sugarcoat the how bad the game may be or the problems the game may have. I mean, yeah, that's part of it. But more so that they would feel bad because they felt honored to get an early review copy, so they don't want to disrespect EA or whoever for giving them a free early copy of the game. It's just kind of like a human nature thing. It's not really all about corruption, although that's a big part of it. People who, if someone gives you something for free, and allows you to do it to have it earlier than anybody else. This is just a principle thing. Are you going to be more inclined to treat it the same way you would if you paid for it and had it the same time everyone else did? No. I mean, most people, are not going to do that. And where the corruption goes, maybe they're not inclined to do that, but at the same time, for their channel to keep making money, and to have an early copy next year, they're gonna, make some moral compromises for their review system and maybe give some more favorable reviews. So this system needs to die. Bethesda's doing a very good thing by not supporting this system, because all it does is play favorites. You guys need to understand that it's not benefiting you, the community as a whole, by having this system. It actually screws you over if you're a small channel, or if you're someone that's trying to get your name out there, because you're overshadowed as it is. If you didn't have early review copies, but with them, oh my God, you just have no chance. You're going to get eaten alive. So that's my thoughts on early review copies and whether or not Bethesda is right by not having them. And yeah, I think Bethesda did the right thing.